Welcome to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 256, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every weekend and release it on all podcast services, so do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, subscribing, and commenting on our Twitch on twitch.tv/CFG or on YouTube, the CFG on YouTube, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I got my awesome co-host. I got Pop in the second seat. What's going on, Pop? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been an interesting week. It flew by.
It really
That's
has.
for sure.
It really has.
Yeah, it really flew by. It's almost April, which is wild to think about. Like, we only have 1 week left of March.
Isn't it crazy?
And it'll be April.
It's insane. It's like, I feel like just like not even a long time ago, we were just celebrating the beginning of the year. It's really insane on how fast it's all this is going, you know? So yeah, but no, you're totally right. I mean, Jesus, wait, is your spring break? Are you done with spring break right now?
Yeah, it's over and we're pushing towards the end of the semester. Once the end of April comes, that's the semester.
Oh God! So you're done, and you're done in April, right? Like,
yeah, I'll be done in a couple of weeks. The last, I teach a Tuesday Thursday course, and the last day of class is on a Monday. So that Thursday towards the end of April will be the last time we meet.
Wow, that is so wild. That is so crazy. I bet you're looking forward to it. Are you going? Well, you're not doing any summer classes or anything, are you? Or
they're talking about that right now. We're trying to decide and see if any students are going to register for it. If they do, cool. If they don't, it's still cool, because I work at a private university and as well, and the work there is a little bit more on the lax side of things. So I would still have income coming in, just not as much as I would during the regular school year.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, at least at least that's well. I mean, at least you got something, stable and everything, instead of worrying about what am I going to do for the next 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it's not like when I was a grad student where it's just like, all right, the school year's over. Who's got a research grant? Who needs a research assistant? Now it's just like, no, okay.
Oh, nice.
And then it's very possible at the private university they just give me if they give me an extra course, that'll be making way more money over the summer.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So what have you been playing? Anything new?
In terms of new, no. Mainly some wilds, trying to get my HR up. I'm currently at 70. My goal is to get to 100 before the April update drops with Mitsuhide, and hopefully they have some other monsters with that update, but I've been doing my usual games with dailies, Zenless, Wilds, and TSO2.
Yeah, I don't think that they are planning on doing more than one like that. I think they're just going to be focusing on a monster maybe every month or something like that, because they have a huge pool of monsters to pull from, especially if it's classics and stuff. So I won't be surprised. I'm glad that they're actually starting a monster that's fairly new, because I believe that monster's from Rise, right? I'm pretty sure it's Rise.
I don't recall encountering that monster in World.
Yeah, that's cool. What's your go-to? Do you have a favorite weapon yet?
Not really, only because the way they changed all the weapons, they're all pretty fun to play. I mean, my go-tos have been, I used to be a dual blades main, but my go-tos have been the insect glaive, light bow gun, the bow, and the gun lance.
And the gun lance? Oh wow, the gun lance.
Yeah.
I suck with the gun lance. I've tried it and I was like, I just can't do it. I've been my go-to, I call it my spirit animal, but my go-to is a switch axe, and I'm in the offset and the countering. I've been mastering how to do that really well. It's just so funny when the monsters that's like 20 times, like 100 times your size, and then just coming and flying at you at point blank speed, and you just say counter, and they just fall straight to the ground. It's just
that's
so
why
funny.
I really want to learn switch axe. I'm just like, oh, the clashing looks so good on a lot of the weapons.
Yes, it's so funny. Oh, there was a video which I saw recently of the Nar Shaddaa, the ice dragon, the giant ice dragon.
Yeah.
So there was a video like when he has that big one hit shot or the insta death move, like you can't if you don't block it right. So there was a video of a dude with the switch axe and then he was in sword mode. He's about to do that move. He goes in front of it at point blank range, and when he explodes it, he just does the counter and then it didn't take any health off on him. So I'm like, you're telling me you can just counter that? Like, I was like, that is just stupidly wild that you could just that you're able to do that.
It makes sense.
Does it? It does not make sense. I think that thing.
No. It makes sense.
Oh God.
It makes sense because it's just ice. You can counter ice. Now, if it was fire, I'd have a lot of questions.
Okay, if it's ice. Yeah, if it's an ice shot, but this is an AoE blizzard that is coming at you. It's not like you can.
But I also wonder what other equipment he has on his gear, because he could have some like elemental resistance that helps with that. Because I wonder if anybody else commented underneath was just like, I tried this and I still died.
Yeah, you would have to have perfect counter. It would have to be perfect counter for that to work. I don't know. I didn't really go into it deeply, but I was just thinking like, wow, to even be able to do that or to entertain the fact that you can do that is interesting. It's really funny to me. I like that. I really did like that.
Everyone who watches this is going to go and try it now.
Well, I'm definitely going to go try it. I know that. Well, but I
definitely want to.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny when that happened. But no, that's great. No, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're playing your go-tos. Man, next month it's also going to be just as busy when it comes to gaming, man. Like next week is I know you and I weren't interested in Shadows, but I mean the big one this week was Assassin's Creed Shadows. But for me next week, I'm going to do the first Berserker. The first Berserker is next Thursday, and then the week. What's in April? I forgot what was in April.
You have South of Midnight and Fatal Fury.
Yeah, and Expedition 33 is another one too.
Yeah.
So South of Midnight. There's just so many games, man. It's just ridiculous on what's going on with this, man. So, but it's gonna be a nice packed week, I will say. So, or a packed months. So we'll go with that. But as for me, I've just been I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I've just been busy. I've been busy working. I've worked 6 days straight. And it's been a little bit nerve wracking. I haven't touched wilds in the whole week, which is scary to me.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, no,
6 days straight.
6 days.
That's gotta be illegal.
Yeah, no. Well, I had to, man. I'm about to get that trip. Going to be heading to Arizona in 2 weeks and stuff like that. And I've been doing been getting. I guess I have fairly good overtime, but we'll see how this is going to go. I might do it again next week, so we'll see. We'll see how that's going to go. Yeah, I've been kind of in a weird mood, let's say, for the most part, but it's fun. I haven't touched much. The only thing I've been touching consistently was Marvel Rivals, so I can get my dailies, but other than that, I haven't touched the game. Berserker's definitely it's going to happen. Might take that day off actually, so we'll see. we'll see how that's going to go. Yeah.
And we're gonna find CFG live just randomly.
I know that's exactly what's going to happen. I really, what, I hate myself on the fact that that's what happens now. Like I don't have a schedule, and but because like the last time I did a live stream of a game was Monster Hunter Wilds, but prior to that it was like it's been 4 months, besides the podcast, but still. Yeah, fortunately, Lou Sentai says, fortunately, rival dailies aren't too bad. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And what sucks is like
I might play rival someday. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. I've finished the pack, so all I'm doing it now is like I'm trying to get the extra currency so I can get all the extra stickers and skin for Black Widow and stuff right now. But anyways, we'll go. But that's pretty much it. I've been adulting too much. But anyways, I know y'all don't want to talk about my Marvel Rivals addiction just as much as y'all already know how crazy I am for that game. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion in the world of video games. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch and on YouTube, to be a part of the conversation as always. So if there is something you wanting to talk about or chime in about or whatever we talk about, by all means, type it inside the chat and we will go from there and discuss it with you. So, Pop, what are you bringing to the table, my friend?
Yeah, in honor of Smitty, who is not here because we were both thinking about this topic before I had my other topic, which we're talking about, it is Inzoi. It is another simulation game, but has a lot of realistic textures and features in both its character creation and the things you can build. I've seen some gameplay of this. I haven't played it for myself, but from what I have seen, I've seen people make themselves in this game. Mm-hmm. The character creation is probably one of the most robust ones I've ever seen. Like, the options available are just, I would probably be lost in there for hours. You think spending an hour in the character creation for Monster Hunter Wilds is a feat? I would be surprised if I make it out of the character creation for this. The things they have available are so great. And it's open world, so you are able to walk around and move around and interact with things around the world. It has, from what I've seen so far, there appears to be a story in the same vein that, you know, The Sims, all the random families, they all have their own stories you can interact with and see unfold as you play the game. But it's, from what I've seen, I'm not quite sure what the stories are yet. Some of the streets seem to be Korean inspired from what I've seen.
Is this a Korean game?
I actually don't know who the devs are.
I'll look into it.
I think Krafton is one of the devs. I'm not sure if there's a specific studio for Inzoi.
Let's see.
They also allow like 3D printing into the game, which is pretty interesting as well.
3D? Wait, what do you mean 3D? Like 3D printing?
There's
in
like
the game?
There's like a generative AI thing you can do to create a 3D print in the game.
Wait. Oh, wait. So, like, okay. So it's not like you have a 3D printer and then you can.
Right. It's in the game. You're 3D printing in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the game. Yeah, no.
Okay. I was
you
like, oh my God. You
don't need to purchase a 3D printer to put things into the game, no.
Like, what an odd accessory to put inside the game. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah, no. From what it looks like, you can take like an image and it has like a 3D thing, and then that image is then becomes an item in the game.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what? Okay, that's pretty crazy. That's wild. Okay, so it looks like the developers is Krafton and Inzoi Studio. So it seems like Inzoi is this is their first game, and then they named the studio after it, and it is a South Korean studio.
That explains the way everything looks then.
Yeah, you know, South Korea does have South Korean games definitely have a distinct feature. It's not a bad thing, but it's just what it is. But it looks like a more zoomed in version of The Sims, and I feel like this is what's going to that's what most people are going to look at, like, will compare to, especially people who are familiar playing these kind of games. Now the real question is, are they going to have their own special language? You know what I mean? Like Sims talk or whatever, you know? So yeah,
that is true.
Yeah. And also, you know what, like, even though this game is beautiful, like, you know, really good looking for the base game, you know, the mods are just going to go insane, especially, you know, how the community is. If the Sims community has shown me anything, people who are going to be into modding these kind of games is just going to get even crazier, you know.
I will say with the mods, they might wait because the first free DLC update comes out in August, and then a second one is following very swiftly behind in September, actually.
Oh wow! Well, that's the that's the free DLC. Like, well, you know what? I would love. Well,
all the DLC is going to be free, but they're doing updates starting in August.
So is the game of? I know the game isn't officially out yet, but is the game on? Like, what's the game status currently right now? Like, is it something that people have access to, or is this like, do you have to do something special to get into it?
It's currently in early access. I've seen apparently Twitch has like a drop thing where you can participate if you like participate in the stream and um eventually you like sign up to this thing and then you like wait for a key to access it.
Okay. Because like, hey, so right now I'm just looking at the stats of it, and it seems like right now there's 23,000 viewers that are actively playing it now. 24-hour peak was at 32,000, and the all-time peak was at 90,000. So that's actually not bad for, like,
Yeah.
a game that's
It's
still, yeah.
Yeah, it's still in early access, and it's going to be in early access on PC starting on the 28th.
Mhm.
And I believe once the early access period is done, it'll be on both the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So if you want to play this on console, it will be on console as well.
It's gonna be cross, and I wonder if it's gonna. Well, I guess it's not really. Do these games usually do like a cross-play or multiplayer in any source, or is it usually just like you just do your own thing?
I actually haven't seen anybody try out anything multiplayer. If they do, I wouldn't be surprised if they added like a crossplay feature. That might be something that comes in later on down the line, but there's so much you can do in the game. It's pretty wild.
Okay, I see. Okay, that man, I guess the big thing is like, I guess the one thing I would say, because like I said, this is kind of out of my element per se for this game, for these kind of games, is that like what makes well, you play, I mean, you're a Sims fan. Like, what makes these games like what's the thing that you look in when you make these when you play these games? Like, what is it that you're trying to do, like that would make you like excited or wanting to try another life simulator game like this? Because I know some people be like doing some weird scenarios of like saying, yeah, I want to see how many babies I have or how many families I can make or how many families I can destroy.
The different challenges.
Yeah, the different kinds of challenges. Like, what is it that would make you say, you know what, I want to see what I can do and what I can get away with in this game, in this kind of game?
I think I would only play the game because of the way the location looks and the character customization. Granted, The Sims 4 has a lot of customization options now because of all the different packs and things, but the fact that the base game has so much to offer, that is a prime giveaway. So of like letting your creativity just explore what's already available, which was pretty limiting when the Sims 4 first came out. I don't know if anybody remember the early days of the Sims 4, but it was bare bones. You had to make up things. Shout outs to the MC Commander mod, which helped add some flair to things, but it was so even like base Sims 2 and Sims 3 had something to do, and this is sort of what that game, what Inzoi reminds me of, where there's something to do. Also think the movement feature is interesting, which was something you can only do on the console Sims game, like the Sims 2, Sims Herbs. But yeah, I'm a little bit of a different person that plays sim games.
Do you like playing mods?
I mean, sometimes I try to see if whoever I make has a better life, whatever that means.
I don't know what that means.
It's like, are you gonna have a great life, or is it just gonna be terrible?
It's like some people are sadistic in these kind of games. It's actually kind of funny. Like, I think I know what mine was. Well, I am not a Sims player, but the thing that I had joy in doing was making a pool and removing the steps so they can't get it, so they can never get out the pool.
You monster.
It's not. It's just showing dominance. That's all. I'm just kidding. But the whole thing, yeah. But it's just like I just find I find this very fascinating because the game looks. I mean, if the game, from what we're seeing, how this game looks. I mean, even though this is, I believe the video that I'm showing is live gameplay, is going to be running this smoothly and this nicely. Especially the angles, because this is the thing that The Sims has never been able to do, really. I mean, I mean, very well, in my opinion. I mean, it's a good. The game has its own specific style, but the level of like, I won't say realism, but the level of like textures and stuff like this looks a lot better than what The Sims was, in my opinion. If I look on when I'm looking at it on the outside, and
yeah, I mean, The Sims never aimed for.
They never did
super. Yeah. I mean, outside of The Sims 3, which that was a huge attempt. And it was successful at the time. I mean, still, The Sims 3 is still pretty fun. It's still my favorite out of all the Sims games.
Really?
The Sims games that were on PC, yeah. But this is a nice balance for people who want something that's a little bit more realistic versus something that's more animated, such as The Sims 4.
Okay. Because like that's. Yeah, because I mean, this looks cool. I wouldn't mind seeing like someone someone just chilling and watching someone play this. But this is not something I'm definitely going to be interested in myself. I'm going to be interested in checking out myself. But I know before Smitty was having issues, he said he was trying to get access to it. I didn't know there was if this was a closed open. Oh no, it's open access, right? Or it's.
It'll be, I don't know if the early access is going to be open or paid, similar to how like PoE2 is, where you have to pay like, what, $40 to get into the early access. But if you go on Steam, you can wishlist it and it should let you know when early access opens.
Let's check, because like if you get it, but if you buy it, then you're able to get into it now, right?
Now, no, because the early access doesn't officially come out until the 28th.
But but there's like 29,000 people that's currently playing it now.
Creators that just got a key.
Oh, yeah. They got creator key. Okay. So every life becomes
creator keys, and then there's a Twitch drop as well that lets you get a key from watching someone play the game. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay. Wow, that is so. Yeah. So really, So really, what doesn't even make sense, and then this review that this one person didn't even make any sense at all. If it's like not that accessible, I mean, Jesus. Okay. Anyways, that's cool. Well, it says the release date is March 27, 2025 on Steam, which is really interesting to me. But I have no idea. This one I was told about like literally like 6 months ago by Smitty. And because there was two that was going to be coming out. One of them got canceled literally like a week before it was supposed to come out. And then this was the other one that was going to take place, but we didn't have a release date for this. So this looks, I wouldn't mind watching someone check this out and try streaming it. But the customization looks really cool. So we'll see.
But I will say it is unrealistic to expect it to be a Sims killer or.
I'm not expecting it to be.
It'll definitely give it some good competition, but with I don't know if EA is still going with this, but they had mentioned The Sims 5. I think it'll be some good competition as that is in development and as they're working on. The different packs and things that they have left for The Sims 4.
Haven't they been dangling that Sims 5 carrot for like years now?
No.
So it
was only recently. Yeah, it was officially announced last year, I think.
Okay. Well,
the development was talks of development of it was underway, and that was officially by EA. I don't pay attention to leakers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, leakers.
I typically block them, but
no, that's fair. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see what Inzoi is going to come. It looks fun. I mean, I definitely will admit it. Definitely looks really good. Hopefully it says teaser, EA teaser. That's interesting. That can't be coming out anyways, no, I digress. But anyways, we'll see where this is going to go and see hopefully we'll see some better things when it comes out soon, when it officially comes out. So if this release date is right on Steam, because it says that means it says it should be coming out next week for everybody, which is going to be crazy. if it is.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Oh, since early launch March 28th. So yeah, so it comes out. So early launch is going to be available. So you could buy it, and then you can play then until probably the official launch or whatever in the future, I guess. Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anyways, that's cool. Well, yeah. So there you go. Inzoi. If you're interested, definitely check it out. I don't know if it has the pop seal of approval, but if it does, you should definitely check it out. So there you go.
I won't know yet until I get my own hands on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Well, what was your second topic there, Pop?
Well, the topic I was actually going to come talk about was Bleach Rebirth of Souls, which is another big title that came out this. Yeah, well, actually.
The real topic was this.
the real topic. Yeah, I'm revealing my master plan.
Exactly. Just slowly but surely.
I just went from my Shikai to Bankai pretty much.
Exactly.
But Rebirth yeah, it came out this week. I've been keeping my eye on this game for a while. I don't get paid until this upcoming week, so I haven't bought the game myself. Mm-hmm. But even then, from what I've seen, it still has my stamp of approval, especially since it is a little bit reminiscent of the Budokai games. Like, I know some people might be like, oh, it's an arena fighter, but I'm like, the movement from what it looks like is like they're doing what they do in the show. You're either flash stepping or doing a quick step. And so the movement might feel a little weird to some people who have never played a 3D game or played a game at a particular angle where you have to move in a certain way to dodge attacks or to have the proper inputs. Mm-hmm. Another reason why I don't really like to consider it an arena fighter is because I've seen some ridiculous combos that are possible outside of, the standard auto combo that you get with some fighting games now, which auto combos don't bring you very far. I mean, worst case scenario, you might get your lick in, but you come against somebody that knows what they're doing and you're not getting that lick in ever again. Mm. From what I've seen with the story, it is very well done and refreshing to see the earlier seasons in that manner. I haven't spoken with anyone that's finished the story, but I have heard that it's somewhere around 40 hours total.
40 hours?
The story mode. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
I think it's going all the way up to the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, which that is DLC. That DLC is coming to the game. Yeah, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Well, it makes sense. The arc isn't over yet in the anime. I think they're finishing that up this year, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, the characters that they've shown and announced, you would think that they would be like, they would try to keep it as close to well, first off, I didn't think that they were going to start at the very beginning of Bleach. Because how long Bleach has been around. I just assumed that they were going by the assumption that people who are going to get this game that knows Bleach will get Bleach, and then keep up with the characters that they've shown in the 1,000-Year Blood arc. Some of the characters, not all of the characters, because they haven't all been officially shown. Well, I guess they technically have.
I like that they started from the very beginning, because the way TYBW, I'm just going to say the acronym because that is a mouthful to say. TYBW has actually had some people go back to watching the beginning of Bleach to catch up. Some people have seen clips from that arc, and I was just like, well, maybe I'll go check out Bleach now. And from what I've seen so far, the story mode in here is pretty much a one-to-one of what happened in not just in the anime, but the manga itself. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice one-to-one. I like the character roster. There are a lot of characters to pick from, and then with so many more characters on the way as well. There's no ranked mode, which some people are unhappy about, but that's probably going to come later, which makes sense because they got to deal with the PC port first. As always, PC ports are always an issue because it's impossible for devs to make sure that a game works on the billions of PCs that exist in the world and the billions of builds, because everybody doesn't have the same PC build. It's nearly impossible. Like my friends that are playing the game on PC, half of them have had issues and the other half have the game's working perfectly fine for them, but they all have different builds, different CPUs, different graphic cards, RAM. There's many different factors.
That's why
console seems to be fine.
Yeah, that's why I've always wondered, because like console, the way, well, you know what they usually do when they code these things, they always code to the lowest, and then they go up. So like the game was really meant to be played. I mean, not saying meant to be played, but it was coded to be stable on console, because you can easily set the limit to what console can do, and then do a port on PC. And then if you have the 4K or a really expensive PC that can basically see the future and meet Jesus, I guess, but like if you're able to do all that, then it's like okay, then we could do it. But that's what causes all the craziness of these issues. That's what kind of makes me want to like certain games that like certain games, not all games, but certain games like this, especially anime fighters, because I don't usually take anime fighters really too seriously, except some of them like Guilty Gear or maybe Granblue when I used to play it a lot. But like these kind of games, I usually just be like, okay, this is going to be a console. This is a console one for me, yeah, because I don't care about the graphics and the fluidity and stuff.
I don't care about graphics in fighting games. Some people are complaining like, oh, I can't play this in 4K. I'm like, it is a fighting game.
Yeah, all I care about is frames. Yeah,
FPS is going to be your most important thing. If I'm not getting my frames, then that's going to be an issue, because that affects my inputs. But
no, I mean the game looks
graphically, I don't care. Yeah.
I will say that now, after looking at that match that I just saw, I could see what the kid. You're right. It's not an arena, because you're right. Because like in the usually arena fighters, it's full 3D. Like you're moving around like crazily. Like it's but the plane is still like you as the character is still on a flat 2D plane when you're fighting face to face or
and you can swap places and whatnot. It's just I think the angle of it is what's throwing people off.
Yeah,
but personally, I mean, I haven't played it myself, but given that you can only flash step or quick step in this world, it makes sense to have that angle.
Yeah, and you can't, and there's no like you're saying, it's just flash step and quick step. It's not like you can run, like how you can in Dragon Ball and stuff, which was you go fly away and then or dodge and stuff. You know what I'm talking about, and then like or in Naruto where you can run on the walls and stuff. So no, I mean, I could definitely see that, but I will say though, like. I mean, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Bleach because Bleach really kind of like I loved Bleach when it first came out. Then like the one arc, but then after that arc, it just lost me. And then I actually sat down and just get off my high horse and tried and watched or not watched, but read TYBM or whatever, or TYBY, I can't remember what it was. 1,000 Year Blood.
W.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, W. And I was like, okay, it's gotten back to form. The last season of Bleach has gotten back to form to what I liked about it originally, because 1,000 Years is really good. But it just took so long to get there. I think is what really was annoying. So I like the fact
that was just the world building, because once you get to spoilers, guys, once you get to TYBW, all the characters that you met along the way that didn't get axed, dead, or just completely annihilated, they pop. We see them again.
But I didn't mind that. What I did mind was the story of when with Ichigo. Spoilers again. when Ichigo loses his power, we should really have a
spoilers cast for this.
I know, right? But that is true. We could, we should do that. That's a good idea, Pop. But when Ichigo lost his powers originally, you remember, because when he fought Aizen. Yeah. And then they made an arc of him gaining a different kind of power just to immediately lose it. Just so he could find a way to get his original power back was dumb, is all I'm saying.
I can agree to disagree, only because the other power, I think it was stated what the other power actually was, because then you find out Ichigo's full background. I'm like, oh, okay. Because originally, like, when you see that arc, I'm like, well, what was this other power? Like, why can't he just go back? And then you get to TYBW, and then it's just like, boom, this is what his actual past is. And now it's like, but it didn't even, that's what happened.
But that's just it. It didn't even tie to any of it. It wasn't even a mix because of his lineage, but it was the fact that it was like, oh, he's a human. You remember, like, what was the name of the bad guy? I gotta look him up. But the bad guy.
It wasn't necessarily because he was human. Because remember, this is towards the beginning. Aizen pretty much looked at Ichigo like a science experiment. That's more so what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, okay, wait. No. So I think we're thinking about two different things because it's not the one I'm talking about.
Like I know what arc you're referring to, but
I forgot what they called that arc.
The Soulbringer arc.
Yeah. Was that the one when he's like doing this weird job for this lady or whatever? And what's it called? I forgot what it was called. Anyways, it wasn't because he's a mix of everything at this point. Because we know that the big three was Shinigami, Hollow, and Quincy. But then there was a fourth one that was not as strong as any of those three, but because he was when he lost his powers and he thought he lost his powers for good, there was a different power that he could get
Fullbringer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Fullbringer. Thank you. When he was Fullbringer, so he unlocked the Fullbringer power just to lose it, and you know what? It's funny. It would have been fine if he lost it faster, but dude, this thing was like a 30 or 40 episode arc. like I was like, what?
So
it was so annoying. That was annoying.
Okay, here's the funny thing about that. So how do I put it? The powers are still within what Hollows and Shinigami can do, but it's more so Hollow adjacent than what's it called? The Shinigami adjacent.
Yes. Yeah. But the only reason why he was able to do it is because he didn't have the power. He didn't have the Shinigami or Hollow power in him at that time.
He still has the Hollow. He still has the Hollow power there. Oh, because of Aizen. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to tap into it anymore when he did his ultimate move or whatever when he took out Aizen, at that point.
Well, that was strictly his Shinigami ability.
That was a mix of. I thought it was a mix of both, is what I thought. Because
the final Getsuga Tensho.
Yeah, because he tapped into, after he did his Bankai, he tapped into some of his Hollow power and then he used the Shinigami power. And the reason why he lost both of them was because he depleted the energy with that one attack on both sides.
It was allegedly Hollow power. You gotta remember the other part that exists.
But that's what I was saying. But that's plot armor. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that when I'm just saying, you know what? First off, are the Fullbringers in this game? Do you know? That's another thing. I didn't even think about it.
I haven't seen anybody get that far in the story, but none of them are playable. Okay. If that's what you're referring to, yeah. None of them are on the roster.
Okay, because that would be that should be DLC too, in my opinion. Because
there were some really unique abilities with it, but the whole premise of a Fullbringer was oh, my mom got attacked with a Hollow, and the power is the residual power is stood there.
Yeah.
And so I was born right after.
It was a synthetic Hollow power. That's what I would probably describe what that is, because it's not as powerful. It's not as powerful as a Hollow.
Secondhand smoking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I hate to put it that way, but that's essentially what it is.
Oh, so
their moms were attacked while they were pregnant with them, and the Hollow let loose, and they were born, and now all of a sudden it's just oh, I have these powers.
The Hollows it's a support group for children.
Or the gas and static shock, where we're gonna go do this gang battle, and then this gas releases, and eventually Richie is just super smart now because he had been hanging around Virgil for so long as Static Shock. He's just oh, I have powers now too. Maybe this stuff rubbed off on me. That's essentially what it is.
I love that. See, from Bleach to Static Shock, I love it. No, that's true. That is true. But still, it's funny. But anyways, Oh, but yeah, back to like to Rebirth of Soul though. I'm surprised that this game is out. Who would have thought in 2025 that they would decide to bring a fighting game of Bleach, just like how in 2025 we're about to see a fighting game of Hunter x Hunter. But it's just very interesting to me that that's like this is. I mean, from how it looks, it shouldn't be as good as it looks. That's all I'm surprised about. So I've been on the fence on wanting to pick it up. I don't think I'm going to pick it up because there's just too many other games I'm wanting to do, and then knowing Namco.
No, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there.
Yeah, knowing Namco Bandai games full price.
I definitely don't see this. I know some people are just like, oh, is this going to be a game that dies out in 2 weeks?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think it will, considering that it started off pretty strongly. Where like Sparking Zero only has like 1,000 to 2,000 players on Steam, and last time I checked, at least it was in the morning. It was 5,000 people on. I'm like, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Did you guys even go to bed?
Dude, that's how anime fighters are always like, though. Like they are always like that. That's the problem. Like the community dies down, and that's the unfortunate reality. Like I'm not expecting. Like I mean, there are caveats to that rule. I think the biggest caveat is Dragon Ball Fighters. I would say is the biggest caveat of them all. That for its run, it was always packed. I mean,
now I will say with this. The marketing is very strong, considering that the last core of PYBW is coming out this year. You also have the DLC and the rank. Bandai can play their cards right and absolutely have these updates for the game come at the right time to stay engaged with the community and not have the game at least the new people that want to play the game fall off, because there's always going to be a core community for a game. No game truly dies until that player count hits 0.
Mm-hmm.
But right. I think this is a strong start for more Bleach games in the series. It's the first Bleach game we've gotten in 10 years, which we don't
need more. We really don't need more.
I mean, they could put them in other genres. You know, you have they could absolutely do an action RPG of the full thing. They could do honestly, I think it would be very interesting if they had something in the same vein of Dynasty Warriors, similarly to what One Piece does with Pirate Warriors. I actually think that would be a really fun Bleach game if they did one in the style of Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, that's true. So like, I mean, like, no, that would be a pretty interesting change. I don't mind, like I said, I don't mind seeing an anime fighter, just hopefully a good one, and hopefully not a cookie cutter one that we've seen in the past. That, like, you know, like there's some like games like Jujutsu Kaisen should be like this kind of style, in my opinion. Like, you know, or should have been that kind of
Honestly,
style.
Do you think Jujutsu Kaisen would have had a better reception if it was done in this style?
I think a lot. I mean, compared to what it was before, most definitely. like absolutely, because what they gave us was just, I don't even know what to describe it, but it was just not appealing whatsoever. Or Demon Slayer would be a good one too, but like
C2 isn't gonna budge on that.
C2 definitely won't, but I mean, instead of seeing these, I mean, I'm glad that they're kind of veering away from just the 3D, the arena fighter for an anime, because that's pretty much a trope in itself. So we'll see, but I'm glad that they're switching away from it a lot more. So we'll go from there. Well, anyways, Bleach is out now. Rebirth of Souls. I'm gonna try it out probably when it's on sale, because I know that's gonna be, because like that's the one thing I've always had a problem with, is like it's hard for me to put my faith in wanting to buy a game full price from Namco Bandai. You know, when especially a fighting game that I feel is going to not last a long time, I would say.
Yeah, especially if it's not Tekken.
Yeah, or
I definitely understand.
Yeah, if it's not Tekken, then that's true. But like, anime fighters are tough. It's a very tough to keep them relevant. When Because like I mean, like Uni, like you said, there's always a specific group of people that are like a community and stuff. But like anime fighters in the long run doesn't have that same longevity as the big two, Street Fighter and Tekken. It is what it is at that point.
And part of that's on Bandai themselves, but that's a talk for another day.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, but it's like we don't like I don't even know, dude. Like I just looked it all up. So Guilty Gear only has 1,400 people playing actively right now. And then Grand Blue.
That makes sense because most people are probably watching the World Tour or at the World Tour.
Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is at on. This is all Steam numbers, by the way, and alleged Steam numbers. It's not the official. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is at 756, and Under Night in Birth is at 8. so
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, I mean, even at its peak, it's just like. I mean, its peak was 1,377. So even then, throughout that range, it's just low. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just saying that it's just a low range. You're not expecting high numbers. That's all. But yeah. But anyways, it is what it is at this point. And pick it up if you like it. If you don't, okay.
If you like Bleach, you'll like it.
Yeah, if you like Bleach, you'll like it.
I have yet to meet anyone or yet to see anyone or have a friend that likes Bleach and say that they hated the game. They all love the game.
But even if you don't like Bleach, I think it would be a pretty interesting game. Like, you may not know the frame of reference of what's going on, and I think this is also a good way to if the game is giving a one-to-one story of what the whole series is about, then I mean I think it's a perfect opportunity for you to play it.
Yeah.
So definitely go check it out. I'm definitely going to do it. It's not a day one for me. Well, obviously, it's not a day one for me. So, anyways, but that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait. Are you going to stream this when you get a chance to, Pop?
Yeah, I gotta decide. I'm gonna get it on PlayStation and PC. I'm gonna be so upset if they make it crossplay later on.
Is it not crossplay right now? Really?
No, that's what we were having the talk earlier. Backstage blurb here. They probably didn't pay the fees to make it crossplay because Sony and Microsoft are very rude about it.
Crossplay for different platforms is not available. Players on PlayStation 4 and 5 can play together, but Bleach Rebirth of Souls is not available for everyone to play. What? That's terrible. Wait, but even though PC to Xbox, you can't play with like that?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That is nowadays, you're pretty much stifling your group right at this point. Like you're like, what are y'all expecting?
After finding out that it's from the high fees that they charge, I can't fully put it on the desk because if you don't know if you're going to be making a lot of money off of the game, do you really want to put forth all of that making it crossplay, do you want to end up like? Is Sparking Zero crossplay?
Yeah, Sparking Zero is crossplay.
Yeah, and now I don't see people streaming the game nearly as often. Yeah,
but I don't think it's a matter of like streaming the game though, too, because I mean, there's also got the majority is going to be people who are not streaming but still play to have have fun with it. And I think that overall,
I was thinking of Steam when I said that, but I don't think a lot of people are playing it as often as it was in the past.
But nowadays,
part of that might be from the frustrations.
Yeah, but nowadays when it comes to like fighting games, you have to make it crossplay. There's like, I understand that it may be expensive, and I can understand if you're an indie developer, but like the amount of money that you put in, like the amount of money on like in just Steam, this game alone, I can only imagine how much it costs just to make this. It would still be pricey. But if you don't do crossplay, then your group, like you're limiting the overall community wanting to play together together each, and you're saying that the only way you can play is on that on those isolated things. You could have gone away with it a long time ago, but nowadays that's a. I
don't think Tamsoft is a huge studio. I mean, obviously Bandai could have pushed forth the money to do it, but
Tamsoft isn't Tamsoft a subsidiary of Namco Bandai? Because I mean, it's like, if that's the case, then they have backing.
I don't believe so.
Let's find out. I'll find out. I want to call. See. It's always going to be very interesting. Tamsoft Games. Who owns Tamsoft Games? Who owns Tamsoft? Japanese studio, founded in '92. Wow. I know they.
Yeah, I think they're writing solo.
Ports. Okay, so yeah, they're an indie port. So they basically, Namco basically released the IP to them, and then they published it through that. But still, I mean, that's not through the developer though. That's still through a publisher. I mean, like the developer just made the game. Now to do all the other stuff behind the scenes of all of that, that's
the developer still has to like test out the capabilities and stuff. I wonder if they like requested it and Bandai was just like no.
Yeah, because just like, I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ was Arc System Works. Arc System Works didn't wasn't the one that was in charge of making it crossplay or not.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, but that was also still added later. It's possible that it'll get added later.
Yeah.
As well.
I'd say maybe just get one and then just see where it's going to go, and then once they realize the sales are dipping, then they probably will switch it to that option. That's probably what's going to end up happening, because like I said, ranked mode is not available right now. So it could be a marketing ploy where it's just like, oh no crossplay right now, and then they just do what Strive did, and all of a sudden it's just like everybody has 2 different copies of Strive because it was a crossplay when it first came out. It's so aggravatingly annoying. Like I bought my copy of Strive on console, and this was during the pandemic. So yeah. But it sucked that it couldn't do crossplay at the time. But anyways, I
don't mind it though, because PC mods, but and then console, like if you don't, you just want to do something quick.
I think that if you want to do console, to me personally, may be a bad take, but I would do tournament play on console, like at all times, because that's the only way you can guarantee that cheating is not happening.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sorry, but sorry if that's not a popular opinion, but that's what it is. But the final topic, it's actually kind of, I just pray to God this is actually a real one. I hope it's going to happen if it is, because it's very, I mean, we're basically, actually, I don't think we have any gaming magazines anymore, like print magazines anymore. When it comes to video
online
games.
Yes.
Yeah. So print magazines are pretty much dead here in the US. They're huge in Europe, but not here in America.
Nintendo Force is still in print. Sorry.
Nintendo Force.
I didn't think about that.
I don't even know what Nintendo Force is. Never heard of that one. Has that been around? Did you just
it has.
Are you talking about Nintendo Power?
Has.
I know Nintendo Power.
No, Nintendo Force.
Okay, I gotta check this one out. I've never heard of Nintendo Force. Has this been around forever? Nintendo Force magazine? Wow. I feel like that's something that you would see at a grocery store, that you just come and peer by in the magazine section, and then you don't even think about it. Wow, you're right.
You also have Famitsu. I mean, I guess we don't really have a lot of Western gaming magazines. For some reason, Japan and other countries are still thriving in that arena.
Not anymore. Well, Japan, because internet's terrible in Japan, man. Oddly enough, like the one thing that you think that they would be, it's like their websites are terrible. Like you should definitely check it out. But but I could easily see why it would be very popular in Japan for that kind of stuff. And Europe, it's very strong in Europe. Wow.
Very strong in Europe.
Yeah, Nintendo Force magazine came out originally in January 11th, 2013. I still feel like that's still kind of new still to me, but yeah. But anyways, because they're only on the 74th issue, so no, that can't be right. Anyways, digress. One of the big magazines that were out that was shut down was earlier last year was Game Informer magazine, the one that was owned by GameStop. And it was slowly dying until I want to say August of 2024, when they announced that they were shutting it down for good. And then they had this weird Chat GPT appreciation email that came out, that wasn't even made by the people that were there at the time. So yeah, it was a messy breakup, or a messy shutdown, to say the least. So, but when they did that, they decided to just put a 404, shut down the thing, and and then all the stuff that they had in the past 30 years was basically like gone. Like they were trying to preserve, trying to get people to trying to find a way to preserve what was the content that they made throughout that time, but there was no talks into that. So everything's in the was gone. Recently on Blue Sky, the Game Informer account, which didn't post since that time, just randomly returned back to life, and then they have it released a short video featuring the publication's farewell message itself, but at the bottom of the screen the code appears the words "continue" as though it were an arcade game, asking if you wanted to put it in, like, put in more quarters and stuff from like the old retro arcade machines and stuff. So they've then they said that there's an announcement that's coming out March 25th, suggesting a launch or announcement for next week. So on the 25th, well, there's going to be more information that's going to be said about it. So I am looking forward to that so much, because I grew up to, like, I'm an old man, so I grew up to so much of this stuff, like Game Pro, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and Game Informer and stuff. But the downside is that Game Informer is owned by GameStop. Now, if there's an announcement that's going to come in, I hope the announcement is that GameStop sold the rights or something to Game Informer completely, because GameStop's probably not going to has no interest in it anymore. Hopefully they give it to the people back or something, and another company is taking care of it or owns it now. So if that's the case, oh my God, we'll be in business. That'll be so freaking money if that's the case. So hopefully, I am thinking very positively, praying to God what's going to happen, and seeing it, even if it's not a physical magazine, that's fine. Because I mean, to be fair, I haven't bought a physical magazine forever. Digital will probably be a lot easier anyways, but still, like, I think that this would be an amazing comeback story of one of the big giants of, like, video game journalism. I should say journalism that's been around, that's part of gaming history in itself. So I just want to get your take, what you think about this, if it's coming, what you think about this news.
I think the timing is interesting because we have GTA 6 coming out this year. Mm-hmm. And, Game Informer had all of those different GTA covers from, its earlier days. So I'm wondering if the comeback is, like you said, if GameStop just completely released the rights, or if GameStop, I don't know, magically just got all the funding they needed back to revive Game Informer. It's a great time for it to come back, because I still think we're in a golden age of gaming where you have different genres of games, different genres in gaming that are just pretty much thriving right now. Like last year was the year of RPGs. This year you have, it's a good year for action games. I wouldn't be surprised if next year ended up being like the year for racing games or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
That is true. I think that there's a lot of news that needs to be said and done and stuff, and I think it's really cool to see, like, the big one. I mean, the biggest company I would say is IGN for gaming, but I hate the fact that, like, one of the big groups is the go-to for those kind of random news to get more in-depth stuff would be IGN. I hate that. I really do. With the level of diversity that there is in the gaming community itself, as it should, as well as the creativity from all the writers and the articles that were in Game Informer that were done very well. Which ironically, the last
absolutely, I love their writing so much.
Yeah, the one thing that GameStop did right was to find the right people in Game Informer. Let's say that. Yeah. But like, to say that was just now lost is tragic. And hopefully that they if they do come back, I hope that there's not, I won't say it's, well, I mean, I hope there are safeguards for it to not just randomly disappear the way they did. That's not to Game Informer's fault. It's really more from whoever owned them, which was GameStop itself. So like, I just prayed like, let's see what the, what's to come for it. If it, like I said, if it is all real, but I am really hyped to see, to check it out. If, to see what this is going to become, because man, to say that we lost this one, that one really did hurt in my opinion for me, because like that
hurt as bad as finding out Toonami was going away.
Toonami's not away. Oh wait, is Toonami away?
Well, back when Toonami went away, yeah. I mean, the current Toonami isn't really Toonami anyway, but
yeah, we're old people. But of course, we will not acknowledge new Toonami. I mean, but yeah. So wait.
Like seeing that announcement made me think about when Toonami went away. I'm like, man, this hurts. I haven't felt this pain since Toonami said, "Oh, this is going to be our last time." I'm like, what?
What's your Toonami? Like, what was your Toonami block for you?
Back during. Okay. I have to go from what I remember because I hit my head when I was younger, so I don't really remember anything before I was 5.
Okay, fair enough.
So I distinctly remember because I was watching Rurouni Kenshin when it came out. I remember, and my dad was just like, "Oh, your favorite samurai show was on." And I don't know if he just like saw the katanas and was just like, "Oh yeah, this is the show that she watches." It was freaking Samurai Champloo on the Adult Swim block.
Right.
And then I remember the Toonami block being like, check it out tomorrow where we're showing, Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho, all this other stuff. So I had the good 90s.
Okay.
The first time I experienced Toonami was the 90s block.
Okay. Because like the one I remember, the Toonami that I remember was probably
90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Well, like OG Toonami for me back was before they decided to do anime. That's what it was for me. Because I remember Johnny Quest, which was a terrible show. It was like they basically, Haji was a slave. I mean, let's just call it out.
I think Toonami had just swapped from doing the Johnny Quest thing.
Yeah.
When I had actually started watching it, because I didn't really know what it was. Like if I was going to bed early, if it wasn't Ed and Eddie or anything else on Cartoon Network, I was gone.
Yeah. The one I remember was Tenchi Muyo was one.
Oh God.
Yeah. Then it was Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam Wing, and Outlaw Star. That's the one I remember.
You just unlocked a memory for me because I remember the Toonami block where they showed, this is why I hate mechas. They had a whole week of Gundam, and I was so upset because I wanted to see new episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho and some other series, but it was nothing but Gundam. And even though it made it worse, they started earlier. They started 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So not only was I coming home from school thinking I was going to get a new episode, it was just nothing but giant robots fighting everywhere.
Yes. Because I remember the earlier show was the edited version, and then the Toonami show was the unedited. That's what it was. That's what I remember it to be. God, you're right. I totally forgot about they called it Gundam Week. I'm like, because there were so many episodes. There was 50 episodes. So it's just like we just have so much. We had to do it. Oh God, that's so funny. Because Jesus, that brings me back. Yeah, that's my Toonami. I'm the old man with the yard chair in my front yard with the saying "get off my lawn" situation. It's like, this isn't real. But anyways, I digress. Well, anyways, Game Informer coming back. That's the point. So there you go.
Hopefully Game Informer's return is not like Toonami's return or alleged return.
Yes, or the
please let all the original writers be there. I might cry a little bit on the inside.
Oh God, yeah. I hope the folks that left. Well, you know what's weird? What's interesting is that when Game Informer closed down, there was only a small handful of people. I think there was only 10 people that were working for Game Informer. So so it was very small. So it's very possible they could get their jobs back. But I bet you there has to be some sort of if you gotten back for that situation, I wouldn't trust the upper management at that point, unless the upper management
they better
changes.
get a very nice sign bonus.
Big time. So there you go. But folks, thank you for listening to episode number 256 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week with a whole new set of different kinds of topics and discussions. We'll hopefully see if Smitty comes back with a brand new computer being more stable as it normally is. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. You could check us out on all our podcast services like Apple and Apple Podcast and what's it called, Amazon Podcast and stuff at the beginning of each and every week on Monday. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh. That's my best Smitty impersonation. You guys also be sure to check out our review, Vince's review on Atelier Yumiya that just came out yesterday. It's a really good review, and I think everyone was enjoying it. But in the meantime, on our website, confreaksandgeeks.com. But once again, this is Davis and Pop signing out. Y'all, take it easy.